But yet, I mean, with CBE, you're running up against more than 100 years of a very rigorous structure around the Carnegie unit, that it is time-based. And so how does that work in today's environment? And do you see that evolving?
So if we look at the way education works today, right, you hit the time limit and what you know is what you know. And as long as you know at least usually 65 or 70%, you get to go on and keep moving, right? That's wrong, because we said a Carnegie unit, this amount of time is how much time you get to learn something. Right. You may have seen recently that the Carnegie Foundation came out and said, we believe we need to rethink this, and that time shouldn't be the measure of learning. And its original conception of Carnegie unit was the way in which we could calculate how much retirement funding a faculty deserved based on how much they taught. Had nothing to do with how much learning happened. It was about how much retirement they had earned. And then somehow, literally in a period of about 10 years, it became the way in which we measured learning, how much learning has happened and how much learning can occur in this unit of time. And so we need to abolish that. And we've heard the Carnegie Foundation come out and say they'd love to see us move away from time-restricted measures of learning and to replace it with learning, right? The actual knowledge, skill, ability, and behaviors, the competencies that a learner has. So I think we're starting to see some of the historic entities, some of the entrenched roots of higher ed say, whoa. The way we're doing it, the ability to accept 70% as proficient is not going to work. Instead, we need to go back to saying, what is it a learner needs to know and be able to do? How do we hold to that and allow them to move at whatever pace makes the most sense? So certainly the Carnegie Foundation coming forward and saying we need to change this is going to help. ETS, that at least in the US controls standardized tests. They've come forth and said it's not about the standardized knowledge demonstration. It's got to also be about performance. So how can we measure for performance the doing of knowledge, not just the knowledge itself? Those kinds of big public statements, I think, will help. There's been plenty of other occurrences really since COVID that I think will also move Matt, but Carnegie Foundation, ETS, those are two big signs in the last couple of months.
Right. No, that's massive. And I think, as you're saying, with the reflection of the reality today for learners at all ages, and also for employers, right? So they're saying that the degree itself is no longer the ticket to employment that it once was. There's a recent survey that revealed that 81% of employers would rather hire based on skills, based on competency, than just looking at the degree.
And I think that's because our degrees don't mean what they used to mean, right? Because when you accept and you say somebody is competent because they have this degree, if they've only had to master 65% of the content in order to earn it, right, how competent really are they? And so we have, because we've been bound by time, we've been graduating people that don't have the competencies, the full competencies. Right. They've got 65 or 70% of them, or we've grade inflated because we didn't want everybody to get a C or a D. That would be bad. So we grade inflate, and now an employer doesn't know what that degree means. So I recognize that, hey, we want to know this person does in fact have these knowledge, these skills, these abilities. How can I verify that? How can I know that that's validated? Because the degree isn't doing it for me if that degree is not based on holding to the competencies that made up that credential.